Hi everyone, welcome to week 7 of Advanced Writing. This is an incredibly important week for us, and what you are watching right now is an incredibly important video. My goal over the next couple of minutes is going to be to give you a ton of information as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Alright, so last week, we spent our time writing reflective essays on our first job experience. You should have, this past Saturday, have submitted those essays, and I will be reading through them this coming week. Now, this week, week 7, we'll have a single major focus. We will be completing our ProctorU exam. Some students may have used this program in other courses and you will be ahead of the game. Other students may not have used ProctorU or may not even have heard of ProctorU, and that's okay. We will get you caught up with everything. Now, your focus, especially over the next couple of days, should be really figuring out how the system works and what you need to install. All right, so if you go into the modules for this week, you will see a bunch of information. You will see an Ed puzzle lecture that walks you through job advertisements and, thinking about how they're set up and formatting and layout and all that stuff. The second thing you will see is a student sample of a job advertisement. All right, now, those two things are important, and I kept them in there, but they are only important for future reference. They will not be incredibly helpful for this week, but you will be able to use them as you return to your job ad. So please do take a look at them. They'll give you some information about layout, font color, stuff like that. But for this week, for the ProctorU exam, you will not have to use a lot of that information. So go through it quickly. Don't spend too much time on either of those resources. The other thing you will see in the modules for this week is the discussion board. Now there you will be able to download a collection of sample job advertisements. Please do take a look at those. They will give you a sense of what information to include in a job ad. All right, so again, the Ed puzzle lecture you see and the student sample of a job ad, important, but mostly for, a future cleaning up of your job ad, but the discussion board, complete it, get the points, really easy. Okay, now, the more important stuff in the modules for this week is the video from the online chair about using ProctorU. Please do watch that. It is there to help you out a ton. And then the other thing that's important on there is a list of guidelines for the ProctorU exam. Please follow these as closely as you possibly can. They include downloading a Google Chrome extension. Please use Google Chrome. If you do not have it, download it. It will make your life way easier over the next few days. Okay, now, once you look at the ProctorU exam, and I highly recommend doing this now, as soon as you possibly can, you will see that there are two separate questions. So for the ProctorU exam, you'll be creating two distinct job ads. The first job ad or job advertisement is going to be for your dream job. So you can think back to your brochure when you thought about the dream job you want to have and what information might encourage someone to go into that field. So that is the first job ad. Include anything that you would encourage someone to apply for in that dream job. You can include the standard pay for that job. You can include responsibilities. You can include chances of future advancement, whatever you think helps you out. Once you finish that, you have a second job ad to complete. So this one is going to be for the first job you ever had. So you can use any information that you brought into your reflective essays from last week. So when you thought about the first job you ever had and what the experience was like, imagine that your goal is to encourage someone to apply for that position. Think about what kinds of information you would include and how you can make that position as attractive as possible. So I want to say a couple of things about this ProctorU exam. And I talked about this very quickly before, the Ed puzzle lecture will give you some information about thinking of formatting, layout, things like that. In the ProctorU exam, you will not be able to change formatting. You will not be able to change layout. You will not be able to use images. You will not be able to use colored text. All right, so the ProctorU exam is all about just getting the information on there. Think about it as a first stab, a first try at writing these job ads. Later on, when you are working over the next couple of weeks, you will have the chance to clean it up and be more creative. The ProctorU program will not allow you to be creative. That's okay. It's obviously not ideal. This is the only time we're going to be completing an exam like this. Just get the information on there, send it in. All right, so again, you're creating two separate job ads. It's all about getting the information on there. Don't worry about images, font color, formatting, anything like that. You can work on that during a future week and then be more creative. All right, a couple of very quick tips on ProctorU just to help you out, and then I will sign off and you can ask me questions as we go along. First tip, when you are taking the ProctorU exam, make sure you only have the ProctorU exam in front of you. You have 90 minutes. You will be completing the two job ads from scratch. You cannot refer to outside notes. You cannot use the actual brochure from previous weeks or any of that. You cannot go online. You cannot check your email. You cannot have a chat window. So your computer should just have the ProctorU exam in front of you. 90 minutes. Type out the information as best as you remember it, and then move on. Second tip, you cannot leave your computer during the ProctorU exam. This includes using the bathroom. So make sure when you sit down to take the ProctorU exam and you start it, you are ready to go. Try to have as very few distractions in the background as you possibly can. This includes roommates, children, friends, anyone in the background. These distractions may be flagged by the system, so it's best to just cut out those distractions if you can. The third tip, and I mentioned this before, but I'm going to repeat it. When you look at the guidelines for installing and working with ProctorU, try to follow them as closely as you possibly can, spending a little bit more time making sure that you are hitting each of the steps is going to save you time later on. This includes installing the Google Chrome extension and making sure that everything is set up with your webcam. If you do not have a webcam, send me an email as soon as you possibly can. All right. So the last tip I will leave you with is, now that you've watched this video, go into the next couple of modules for the week now, as soon as you possibly can. Try not to leave off looking at the ProctorU exam until Thursday or Friday or Saturday. I highly recommend looking through the modules, making sure everything is set up. It's going to make everything less of a headache. All right, that's it. I know that's a lot of information in about 10 minutes. If anything comes up, shoot me an email. Do not hesitate. I will try to be as responsive as I possibly can. It will be kind of a hectic week because students might be figuring out the ProctorU system for the first time. But just shoot me an email. If anything seems technical, please, you don't even have to contact me. I'm just a middleman. You can just contact the Berkeley College Help Desk. They know way more than I do about how the system is set up. But please, and this is going to save you a headache as well, contact the Berkeley College Help Desk, not the ProctorU support site. The help desk will be able to help you out. The ProctorU site will, or the ProctorU support probably will not. All right, shoot me an email if anything comes up, and we will figure it out as we go along. It will be the only time we will be using ProctorU.